before everything had played out or whatever, and you thought like Fnatic was more than like a 2-1 favorite, you take that pretty easily. And do I think Fnatic is a 2-1 favorite? I don't know. They haven't been. Fnatic is the most up and down team I think I've ever seen. Like their peak is like, ooh, but their low is like, oh yikes.
Yeah, every now and then you see them at LAN events where they are taking games off, Team Secret. We saw them take games off Nigma at Dream League. So definitely a team that can beat anyone, but also, as we saw at the start of this group stage, lose to anyone. They lost the best of 3 against Boom ID, who, not to say is a weak team or anything. SEA is very competitive, but you'd expect Fnatic to beat them.
Oh, for sure. Like, for example, on Liquid, we regard them quite highly, but it doesn't matter if you regard somebody highly if the results are not backing things up. That's kind of how Dota works, right? Like, your team can, on paper, look really good. All the things seem to be going right, and 1 or 2 matchups later, like, you lose 2 games and you're out.
Yep. Well, we'll see how Fnatic do. They need to start putting together some wins here, as the bottom team of the 4-team groups is eliminated. All about making sure you get to the playoffs. If you get first, you do find yourselves instantly in the grand finals, but it's going to be Fnatic playing over on the Radiant side to start things off. A Moon Storm Spirit. Will got asked, is this a good Storm game?
Is this a good Storm game? Okay, so Storm usually hates 2 things. He hates death balls. So if you 5-man, nowadays he lacks damage because you don't go Orchid anymore. A lot of the items in Dota are just good versus Orchid now. You have Force Staff, which just lets you reset. You have Glimmer Cape, which is like the... Oh, I hate that item so much. And so Storm against like those kinds of lineups struggles really hard. And Mass Instant Disable. Like, those are the 2 things that I hate playing against when I'm Storm. So if I look at it, I will say it's okay. Depends on what build the SF goes. If the SF decides to go for the Yules build, I could see it being pretty annoying. And I could see him deciding to go for the Yules build. I really hate the right-click build versus TV.
Yeah, because you're... Okay, so against the... You're just not going to be able to kill him with the right clicks. You want to have that magic damage against TV.
Yeah, plus when he reflects, like, he gives you your own illusion, which hits quite hard, and it comes with, like, all the minus armor auras and stuff like that. So if you lean too heavily in that direction, it's kind of meh.
Okay.
But against Phoenix, I'd say he's okay. It works both ways because you have a way of getting on top of the Phoenix first. But if he gets Egg off, it really sucks having to just, like, sit still and hit Egg. Yeah,
they've got the... TB with Metamorph, but they don't have great egg hitters this game necessarily.
Yeah.
And if TB gets hit by a Fire Spirit, if he doesn't have a BKB or Manta to get rid of it, they're going to struggle to kill that Supernova.
I'd say he's pretty good against Brew. He's pretty nice against Shadow Demon, and he's, I'd say, above average against Faceless Void is one of the better heroes that he's against.
Big creep wave down bottom, putting 23 Savage under a lot of pressure. He's out of regen here. Jabs has a salve, though, for him. Oh. And they're going to actually get a kill with help with the tower. Boomy!
Did he have a salve?
Boy.
What? He just
has a headdress. So.
He just straight up died.
Yeah, he tanked a few too many tower shots. And speaking of which, the Brewmaster does the same. He tanks like 2 tower shots and just dies. They tried to pressure. I mean, there was a huge creep wave under his tower, so they wanted to pressure 23 Savage, but they did not control the tower aggro.
I don't know if pressuring the tower works in that way if you just get hit by the tower like 6 times.
Yeah.
It sort of defeats the purpose. That was some of the weirdest 2 kills that I've seen. They just kind of died. If somebody asked me to recap what just happened, I would just tell you they sort of just died. Like, nothing really happened.
Yep.
But okay, that's a really good start for TV.
Yeah, the lane was kind of being lost in a sense there. Oof, Moon getting very low to the triple raises, has a salve and a fairy fire. Is not going to go down there. Mac is bullying him a lot with the harass, but Moon is getting his CS, and we're seeing Mac have to ferry out a lot of mana regen to keep this pressure up. He's already got another couple of mangoes on the courier, so there is a price to all this raise spam that he's using.
There's 0 chance he's like even close to net worth right now. Like, this is the one thing about when you play Shadow Fiend versus Storm, the tendency, of course, is like you want to continue to just like keep pressuring, laying out raises as often as you can, but you're spending so much gold on items that you just will never see. You'll never see like any usage out of. So like, instead of having any sort of stats, he just has even more mangoes, and then he's going to use all of those mangoes, and suddenly his net worth's going to collapse even further. Like, net worth wise, he's behind the Brewmaster who just died.
Yeah, he's bottom 4 net worth on SF.
Yeah, it's really deceptive. Everyone always looks at the CS, but for the mid matchup, what you want to focus on more is the net worth.
And even on top of that, you look at who's bullying who. It's the SF who's constantly threatening to kill this Storm, but without getting those kills, the Mangoes are nowhere near as cost effective as they used to be. They only give 110 mana.
Yeah.
It feels like this way of playing mid is not really maybe the ideal way these days anymore.
I think he leaned too hard in this direction. Like I can see the first 3 mangoes that you use. That makes sense for me. And then after that, you're just like, there have been plenty of lane matchups. I started noticing it more recently when I feel like I was losing a Storm versus SF.
Yep.
I'd be like, damn, he's like hitting neutral creeps and stuff, and he's like a full level ahead of me. And then I watch I look at the chart after the game, you know, for individual player net worth, and I'd be up like 2K. I was like, what's going on?
Well, now Storm's hit level 5 with an Arcane Rune.
If he gets lucky on the uphill.
He has a Remnant hit, gets the hit, and Moon will get a solo kill in the mid lane. The Phoenix TP coming in a little bit too late.
Oh, this game's going to be... This is not supposed to be a losing lane, by the way, for Shadow Fiend. All the stuff that I said is, like, true, but you should still have a level advantage at the very least.
Yeah. And
then you can jungle and stat up to, like, 1.2k with the wand, and you can't die as Shadow Fiend. It's really hard, and Storm wants the pressure in lane.
Not the ideal start. DJ rotating on this mid lane with the Storm hitting level 6 now. They're looking to kill Mac instantly as he comes back. They just jump on in, hit the Impale here. Moon, he's committing to this one, knowing that Mac, if he dies, he does not have a TP to come back to lane. Mac, though, he kills the Nyx Assassin, and Moon, he may have overcommitted. One more right click, is it going to be enough? The bottle charge is healing up Mac. He stays alive. One more right click. It's just enough, but Moon may pay for this with his life. Has a Fairy Fire and a Stick Charge. Boomy. No spells for a good 6 seconds here. It looks like Moon is going to get himself back to safety. Considers a neutral deny, it looks like. But Boomy still looking to land a Fire Spirit. Can he do so? Misses the first. Not going to go fishing with the second in the right place.
Oh, and he might actually get spotted, and he's got to be careful here.
Yeah.
Does have dive in a few seconds, and he's just laying him out. Funny enough, hits the Nyx.
Who gets a little cheeky carapace stun on Moon. With the bottle refill from DJ's TP, is able to stay in this lane.
If there's a regen top, I'd leave the game.
Oh, Invis Rune. Oh, luckily there was a disruption. Moon unable to refill his bottle.
I would straight up leave the game, David.
If you were the SF.
Yeah, I'd be so mad.
Yeah.
Because some of those things are just out of your control, and you're just like, damn. Or DD, because a DD means you're dying, 100%.
Yes. Can he get this kill?
I think it's hard.
Yeah.
He's got stick charges.
Not going to go for it. Back at bottom lane, TB is being free farming 3k net worth with this Ring of Taras, double Wraithband build, and now the tier 1 tower is being pressured with Metamorph. Both supports here to back up 23 Savage.
I'd say if you can't beat Fnatic in the lane, most of the time you're going to lose. They rely really heavily on having at least 2 out of 3 lanes go very well. I was talking to Grant, I think, about it. I personally think that Fnatic drafts kind of greedy for their 3 cores. Like, Ice always plays an independent hero. He doesn't rotate to you, you rotate to him. And so if he has a bad laning phase, there's not a whole lot of recovery from him. But if he has a good laning phase like this, like, he doesn't care. He's just going to snowball a game.
Yeah. He's definitely very rarely plays that kind of sacrificial style off lane. Always wants to have a good game, and well, all 3 lanes going pretty damn well right now as bottom tier 1 tower goes down. Ice has gotten more than enough out of top. He's level 6, isn't farming as well as the Void, but is able to play in this lane pretty much by himself right now.
Yeah, I mean, the expectation isn't for him to farm as well as the Void, right?
SF getting jumped. Moon unable to get the kill with the disruption save, and
he might die here.
Yep. There are 1 charges, he's going to pop them, but I don't see him getting out of this one. He goes down to the Sunray. So a nice counter kill going the way of Adroit. They needed that.
Oh boy, did they. And you're sacrificing your bottom lane as a result of this, though. Like, I don't think Moon cares too much about that death, if I'm honest. Like, he forced 3 heroes over. When you make that move and you don't get the kill on Storm, it feels like you died anyways, because you're out of mana and you have to go back to base and then TP out. So, no net change.
Yep. I mean, I guess for Adroit, are they looking at trying to force some team fights with their ultis, like Brewmaster level 6, Void level 6, Chrono? Like, they have a pretty potent team fight.
Yeah, the problem is I don't know where to gank. If so what should happen now is somebody should take over bottom lane. The Oracle can sit behind mid, and TB just farms his own jungle until Timber takes top. You would have to smoke to make something happen. But smoking at this point in the game feels kind of awkward because your initiation feels kind of mediocre. And can they burst them? Yep. So as a result, you get Moon just being able to go wherever he feels like. You would have to smoke to the Brewmaster, but you don't have a hero that plays very fast. Oh, okay, that was kind of bad death.
Matt comes in to punish Ice overcommitting there. Didn't quite land the Chakram as he was hoping for in the Phoenix, who didn't have dive, but in the end it is, like you say, a bit of a bad, unnecessary death for sure for Ice.
Yeah, that one was...
He's doing Ice things. Playing in your face, Orb of Venom on the Timbersaw. He's looking to play as aggressive as possible. How would you say his Timbersaw compares to Boxy's? As the Liquid coach, are you...
I'm just saying, Boxy had his Timber banned in every single game for the past 2 LAN events. And the one time we got it, we won in like 15 minutes.
Okay.
So nobody gives us Timber.
There's a lot of respect on Boxy's Timber.
But Ice is a legend, man. I don't even... Ice for me is the Timber. Just... That's how I look at him.
It's going to take Boxy a while to become like the signature Timbersaw player, even just as a newer player. Like for any new player, it's impossible to like become like the signature any hero.
Oh, nice chrono.
Yeah, catches out too.
You don't want to get this though.
The damage without the SF, they just really struggle to kill these heroes. It's just a support Oracle. And Storm just walks away. That, to me, is the issue with that big team fight is unless SF is there, they're not killing anyone inside of Chrono easily until maybe Phoenix gets a lot of levels in the Sunray.
Yeah. I don't... Oh, this might be a... This is a kill. This is a kill.
Great combo.
23 Savage, what did you do? None of his team was there, by the way. He just decided he was going to take that risk.
He took that risk and... Adroit punished him for that risk.
Oh, look at that. Very nice spot by our observer, Pop-Tart, who notices that he has decided, well, we have his quick buy too, but he, for his level 10 talent, he decided to go for the Spell Amp, which tells us he's going to go Yules, which I think is the correct build, as I outlined earlier, versus TB. You do not want to play physical damage. You don't want to play that game. You will lose trying to trade hits.
You also mentioned how it can really threaten the Storm's game with the Yules Requiem setup.
Oh yeah, when I see SFs with the right-click build, I'm really happy, because I know that idiot's dying.
Even Timbersaw, would you say the Magic build's better against?
Yes. Yeah. So surprisingly, even if you get Hood on Timber, if you get the point-blank combo off, and you get triple raised, you die. You just die. It's not enough Magic res.
Yep.
Like that combo, even reduced, does like 800, and then the triple raise stacks. You get hit like twice by anything else, you dead. Plus, I think Yules is really nice in this game because he wants the mana regen. And he needs a way to push out lanes very aggressively. Because if you think about how this game is going to go, TB's going to get level 10. He's going to most likely, he has evasion built into if he wants it. And then it's really hard for the SF to right-click his illusions out. That's primarily like the annoying part. But when you hit 15, for example, and or like 20 and you get the raise damage talent, you can clear these illusions and the lane really, really quickly without issue. And that's another reason why I think the magic damage SF build is superior.
Okay. Well, we'll see if it pans out. Right now they are playing from behind, so even though it seems like it should be the build to answer Fnatic's draft, they're losing a lot of these lanes and currently getting pressured all over as Timbersaw's going to rotate on in with the next Vendetta gank. Finds the Phoenix. Nice little setup from DJ.
You know what I really like about this region, by the way? Southeast Asia? They go for kills that I wouldn't necessarily think are like super like easy kills. Like they're a little bit
like
riskier.
The one we just saw there.
Yeah, or like for example, when I was watching the other day, they do like cogs into like SF ulti pushbacks on morphlings and stuff. Like things that I feel like are lowish probability that through just like good timing they make work. Like 23 Savage did not expect to die mid.
We'll see if they can find any more kind of kill openings here. Fnatic are hunting around as Adroit maintain the high ground advantage here. No Chronosphere for another 10 seconds. Going to imagine that Sumi's going to be probably trying to find the next opening to set
They
a
just
team
missed
fight.
the ward. They should know because of the sentry that's there, by the way.
The dire sentry was there.
Yeah, the dire. So they got the sentry, so they should know that there's a decent likelihood that there's a ward there too.
Oh man, they miss it. They miss it with 2 sentries.
And okay, 100% now you know There's no reason for him to deward that sentry if not for that. But the ward's about to fade, so it doesn't really matter that much anyways, unless you plan on replacing it. And maybe you do. That's a pretty neat ward, if I'm honest.
Making Nyx's game a whole lot harder when there's all these observer sentry combos.
Yes.
That's always been the, I think, key thing for playing against Nyx is put your sentries with your observers so you can see him roam around the map.
Not just for the D ward, but just so you can see spot vision. Nyx is so much worse as a hero if you have vision on him.
Oh, jump in mid, Storm Spirit with the smoke rotation from the supports is going to find a pick.
That's what I'm talking about. Like, would I go for that kill? Probably not, but...
Well, they know they can get this one. That's a squishy support. Shadow Demon is easy pickings for Fnatic, who instantly then TP bottom. Can Storm get another? Boomy? Moon's got a haste rune. He's considering it, but not going to go chasing.
They still haven't lost bottom tower. In fact, they haven't lost any tower yet.
All their towers are pretty healthy as well. It's not like there's been much damage. There we go. Requiem combo, but there's an Oracle immediately purging off the fear. Yep.
Dang.
Gets him out with false promise.
This guy's good.
No chance for SF to get that kill. And that's Requiem on cooldown for another 95 seconds, so it's a lot of spell damage that Adroit's going to be missing for a team fight here. And they're going pretty greedy. Natsumi's working on a Battle Fury on the Faceless Void. Does feel like they're just hoping they can farm their way back into this one.
I saw Nico Baby go pretty interesting build against like PLs and stuff. He goes Battle Fury into Aghanims, and he takes the Time Walk talents. Then you jump in and you start bashing plus proccing. Thought that was kind of cool, but in this kind of game, I feel like I don't know, David. I think their job is really hard because you have to get to the Oracle, but they don't really have a hero that can get to the Oracle. Their offlaner doesn't really like cut space in the same way.
Also feels tough because they're playing this farm game, but they farm so much slower because Void doesn't have his Battle Fury. Meanwhile, TB with Yasha and Illusions is just farming the entire map. So,
and because they've won so many fights, Storm feels really comfortable just going wherever he feels like.
He's working on that Bloodstone first item. That's going to help make him a whole lot tankier.
Yeah, so that's one of the reasons why I think Storm is actually quite good against Void, is because if you want, for example, you can go for the 400 HP talent, and then on top of that, you go Bloodstone, so you're rocking like an obscene amount of health. Like I think after you get Bloodstone, you have like 2.1 or something when you pop to Strength Treads, and then you have, if you have at least like 10 wand charges, your HP effectively goes up to like 2.5, and you also have one of the more ridiculous like armors for a non-agi hero. So all of these things make it so that Void, he hits you like kittens. You don't actually care that much.
And you look at this Adroit draft, they actually don't really have stuns. They have a Chronosphere in a team fight, but their supports have no stuns. Brewmaster is not your typical initiating offlaner with a stun. He's got good team fight, but he's very limited on control. Yeah, they have no real way to deal with this Storm, which is why it was a good last pick for Fnatic.
The only risky part is if the laning phase went bad for Fnatic, Adroit could just 5-man up.
Yep.
Or I told you, like, good Storm game is if they don't have the ability to just 5-man or instant disable. And currently, both of those conditions are true for Storm.
Well, Fnatic with full control over both mid and top lane are keeping these lanes shoved out while pressuring the tier 2 towers now. A Meteor Hammer on Nyx Assassin, but here comes Adroit. I think they've had enough. They know exactly where Fnatic's playing on the map. They've smoked up. They're looking for that fight. Battle Fury completed on Void. He's looking to use it to fight, though. As Phoenix goes diving in, they found jabs. If it's just an Oracle kill, that's not really going to be worth it. But Ice is in the middle of the fray here, trying to build up those reactive armor charges. As both teams will disengage for now with Oracle going down.
They want more.
Yeah, you can't just get an Oracle.
Oh, this would be huge.
Yeah, they've got the Cyclone. I don't know if 23 Savage is a good way out. They're going to drop the Chronosphere just to try and kill him off. There's no way he gets a Sunder off as Storm goes falling on the backlines, but they can't do anything about it. The Nyx Assassin gets a nice impale into Meteor Hammer combo with the Supernova there. They've got a great defensive option here. The Fear being used on the Storm to stop him zipping away, and they take out the DJ Nyx as well. 4-0. Fnatic didn't really need to fight that one, but they chose to, and they got punished.
Oh, absolutely they didn't need to fight that. They could have just left the Oracle to die too, and then Jabs just decided he was going to run in. 23 Savage decided he was going to run in, and then you can see right here, they find the Oracle. Oh. Wait, what part of the game is this?
I think we That's the live game. There we go. There's the replay.
Okay. I was like,
I looked at my computer. I was like, the time's the same.
so they get the kill on the Oracle, and all right,
it was the Cyclone that caught TB.
I guess the TB's dead at this point.
Yeah. It's the save your buddy syndrome, because they were willing to leave the Oracle to die and not take this fight. But as soon as the TB got caught, they were like, okay, we got to take this fight. Nyx is like, oh yeah, I've got this nice combo with the Meteor Hammer. And sure, Fnatic have this item advantage, but I mean, Adroit's got way better team fight.
Not only do they have better team fight, but you're fighting at such a numbers disadvantage. Like, it's 3v5 at that point.
Yes.
Your TB is not living there. But I do like this move. They recognize that all the cooldowns have been used, so might as well just go into Roche Pit. But a large portion of their lead just kind of fades away there. And as Stormshare, ideally, you play like Nature's Prophet does in a way, where you try to force them around the map, trying to chase you as you push out lanes. And then you get an ideal fight where you get to be the one to jump in first. You don't want to be on a Storm game where the enemy gets to jump your team, and then you're left looking for options.
And unfortunately for Fnatic, when they lose jabs at the start of a fight like that, that means the TB has to place very cautiously in the fight. Like, if he gets Chrono there and Oracle's behind him, it's
Yeah,
it's
you
fine.
don't care.
Yeah. But the Void's willing to solo Chrono a TB once he knows there is no save available.
Yeah, the Oracle getting killed. And that's why I felt like after Jabs dies, I think it's like full retreat mode. You're just like, screw this. There's no chance we can win the team fight. Because they'll kill your Storm. The magic damage, this is what I mean by the magic damage SF being superior against like the Storm in this kind of situation. Because if he's right-click SF there, you know, you don't really care that much. But he's able to Yules the Storm, stop the aggression, you know, get the ulti off. Really nice and easy. They have so many different ways to set up on him. I actually think that time they used the SD for the disrupt as well, but just being able to pressure is really nice.
Jabs thought he could sneak an outpost, wanted that juicy experience, but they were ready for it.
Yeah, now the game gets really interesting, David, when... Oh, he is going for the Battle for your Axe, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I like that build. I thought it was neat against PL and Naga when I saw it.
New tech coming out from Natsumi, or perhaps not new for as far as we've seen it before, but it's definitely not the conventional Void build.
No. Most people would go like Milner or something.
Yeah. It's nice to see these kind of new ags that are being changed and some of these heroes coming into play. No longer just, oh, you know, the boring old let's reduce Chronosphere cooldown, doing something new and unique on the hero.
I like when Ice Rock focuses less on the ulti and more on one of the pre-existing abilities.
With the ags upgrades?
Yeah, I think that's when...
Okay.
Unless the ult one is really cool.
Yeah.
But just saying, like, your ult does 200 more damage, that's it.
Yeah.
That's not interesting.
I remember that used to be like the Lion Ags upgrade. It was just
Yeah.
like, come on. Then they made it AoE.
But even that for me is kind of just like...
Just does damage, yeah. Like a cool one like Phoenix, you can save a teammate with Supernova. Like, I think that's really cool.
And the new Sunray thing? That's dope.
I still never use Sunray and Egg. I always
really?
forget. Yeah. It's the one thing I
Dude,
still
that's the
cannot
broken
get used
part
to.
about it. We see GH in pub games nowadays in Europe. He just rushes it.
And just Sunray
First item
away,
back.
yeah.
Doesn't even bother for the save. Just, you know, peep the Sunray. So there's now an Atos on the Phoenix. I think the Storm might just die here.
Well, he's got an Aegis, though, so he's looking to bait some spells here as SF is fake casting his Requiem in the back lines.
Oh, look at this.
So Timbersaw, he's in
really far in.
Yeah, he's in really deep. He has got a pipe here. He's going to pop it and then Timber Chain himself out of there. But Box committed. He's popped the Primal Split. He's looking to charge forward. They found jabs as well. That's the Oracle. That's a lot of the save, although he's already used the False Promise to keep Ice alive. Now Storm's going to go jumping back in. They've lost jabs here, but here comes the TB. Metamorph back up means they're ready to fight. And can they kill this egg? One or two more right clicks. They're going to be close to getting it. They just barely get the last right click off in time. CML on the backlines on the Shadow Demon should be in all sorts of trouble as well. Timbersaw is there. They're going to drop the Meteor Hammer for some style points. And Brewmaster coming out of the Primal Split gets picked off immediately.
If they decided to take this fight, where was Natsumi during all of this? He had Chronosphere. I guess he was, all right.
He was so close to his
He was farming his Ags. If that was the case, don't take that fight. That was miscommunication at its peak. You can see even in the replay, he's nowhere really all that close to the rest of the team, but they decided to take this like...
He's just farming top, and there's a tower he can TP to.
Oh my lord. This is a disaster.
Yep.
This is so bad.
And the fight just goes so horribly wrong because of how far they chase and overcommit for it. They lose 4, and now they're losing a tier 3 tower. The racks will not go down, it looks like, as the low respawn time is still there.
This game was perfectly okay for them again. And now they've made the game quite difficult for themselves. Just taking that ill-advised fight. And I see this a lot, by the way, in Dota lately. I don't know if it's just limited to Southeast Asia. I see it a lot in SCA, but this, like, save the guy syndrome, like, you know, save your buddy. It just felt like there was some aggression. It was a good team fight, to be fair. I think even with the Aegis, if Void is there, it's a very good fight. You'll pop the first Aegis really fast, and then you have Atos and Chrono to kill the second one.
Yep. And the thing is, I don't think you can even necessarily fault the Void. Either plan was okay in my book. Like, whether you don't fight and let Void farm Ags, or fight with the Void.
But they decided to do, like, the worst of both worlds.
Exactly.
Let's fight without the Void, and also, he's going to farm Ags.
Just so much Dota is about being on the same page. And, I mean, I was saying, Brian, talking about having a good, strong captain is sometimes the make or break for some of these teams.
Oh, for sure. And you saw right there, just things were not in sync whatsoever.
And soon, BKB on Storm to go with the BKB on the Terrorblade. He's going for a Heart of Tarask on TB. That's a very tanky build we're seeing.
Oh boy, he's Savage.
That's the you cannot kill me in Chrono build.
Yeah, he's just trying to discourage the Void from jumping on him. And there's the hidden effect of making your illusions really tanky too versus the jump in. Because I think the hit applies no matter what. Even if you have like butterfly or stuff on the time walk. Wait, is Brian here? Brian knows all these weird mechanics.
Well, he may not have played much of the new Void with Ags now that he's an offlane player.
That's true. But Brian still knows like all the really, really obscure / odd ones. And I was hoping he would know this one. Are you a mechanics fiend?
No.
Oh, you don't do the playtesting?
I've I think used demo client once or twice in my life.
Oh, really?
To be totally honest, Will.
Ah, that's fine.
I just wing it when I'm playing Dota.
I was the same until I started working with Liquid again.
Yeah. There's a caster you swing it. You say confidently how a mechanic works, and
if you're wrong,
matter,
like, don't worry, tons of people will tell you you're wrong.
Yeah.
And that's, you know, you live with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. I've been wrong about worse stuff. Dota's a complicated game. I don't blame you.
Oh yeah, a lot of complicated mechanics. Ice is
my guy. Whew. What is you doing?
Gone in very deep here. The Banish is going to set up a Requiem, and Ice being pushed back by the Fear is still going to stay alive.
What?
The Chronos he's being used. Dude, they really want him. Jabs has a false promise. He's fine. Jabs is just sitting behind him. He's baiting them out, and he's not going to die. They throw everything on a Timber Saw, but he's just too goddamn tanky. Ice now healed up to full. They're going to drop the Supernova. I think they can just focus that one down. The Storm's going to zip in, trying to do so. The BKB Terrorblade. Can he find a Sunder target? He doesn't need one. He's being healed back up. He does end up sundering Natsumi. And Faceless Void doesn't have a time walk for a few more seconds. He barely gets it off in time.
Double stun.
Oh, the double stun onto the SF and the Brew is going to spell the end of Adroit, it feels like. GG is called by the GG branch. Doesn't look like they're going to ult chat it, though.
I mean, they're still at tier 2. Let's, okay.
Yeah, you're right.
Ice is just dropping GG trees, trying to tell them, like...
Yep. Come on, let's have a little GG tree battle.
Oh, item dropping.
Yep.
Look at that.
Ice with the branch into Timber Chain combo. He's styling.
He's feeling himself. When you don't die at that point, I think you feel yourself.
Yeah. He's dropping GGs all over the place. This is the online Dota. We know, we love it. You get a bit of trash talk in there, a bit more, you know, flair and personality for some of the players when they're sitting at home a bit more comfortable.
The thing is like, it's all in good fun, but if I'm Adroit, I'm secretly like, screw this guy. Like,
you're coming back game 2 twice as hard.
I'm mad. Dude, you can't let somebody disrespect in front of your tier 4s.
Yeah. He's doing it now. He's just taking tier 4s.
In front of your tier 4s.
Yeah. And after that last team fight, Ice deserves to have some swagger. They're all in on him. They're trying to 4-man kill him here. It's not really working, though.
They needed a Spirit Vessel so badly.
The Phoenix rushed the Atos this game, which made Ice's game pretty good because he didn't have to go any kind of Lotus Orb. He does have the Greaves for a Purge, but...
You still want it, though.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
Vortex going to pull in Bok, who doesn't have Primal Split for another 8 seconds here. They've got the Sun on Natsumi, who's got to be careful. Ice still just charging forward. It does feel like the end for Adroit, but they're holding on, looking for one last hurrah. They've lost the melee racks in mid and the racks down bottom. And without ultimates, it's so hard for them to take this fight. And Pale?
Yeah, and Grant did say he felt like it was going to be a pretty quick, they run down together at some point and win. And that's kind of what it's looking right now. A little bit later than he predicted, but same idea.
The Supernova is going to pop and stun a few heroes. Bill's used very defensively as Fnatic just going to look to disengage a little bit here. Metamorph is just about to come back up, and I believe they're going to look to take this fight as a result. 23 Savage does not have Sunder, though. He's in some trouble. The Chronosphere, it catches out jabs behind him, gets
They're
two.
all three in.
Oh, Natsumi's been Cyclone. DJ with the Yule's combo. Meteor Hammer is going to be... Oh, no, he time walks, but he still gets hit by it. Storm goes down in the end. As 23 Savage is looking to hold his ground with the Metamorph.
Oh, now
they'll call it. That was the last hurrah.
That was probably if we kill TB here, maybe there's like a 1% chance we can come back into this game.
Yep.
But well done by Fnatic. And